When I had met Milligan, the real Billy had been asleep for 7 years. The other personalities had put him to sleep when he tried to jump off the roof. Dr. Harding brought the core Billy, the real Billy, the core Billy, however you want to put it. When he brought him out, he was a shattered, frightened hulk of a person, you know, like a core, like the husk, like the core of an ear of corn, you know. Shortly after that, shortly after I worked with him, and months later, when the other personalities, all 23, fused and became the teacher, I was dealing with the most articulate, the most intelligent, fascinating human being I've ever met. The sum total of all the others. But occasionally, he would unfuse, and I would see the core Billy again, who was an empty shell. The core Billy was the Billy without the attributes and the memories that all of the others had amassed while he was asleep, as it were, whereas the teacher was the sum total of the others.
But when I saw Dr. Harding and what he did for him, I even told Dr. Harding, I saw my first miracle. I saw my son again, the core Billy, for the first in about 18 years.
This is a painting composed of 7 of Billy's alter personalities as he envisioned them at the time that he painted them. I had originally asked him, sometime before that, to try to paint all 24 of the personalities as an adjunct to therapy, that it might help in his treatment, to somehow put them all on canvas. He didn't do it, felt very uncomfortable about it, and ultimately decided on this, rightly saying that if you put 24 on there, you won't get any resolution, you won't see much detail. And he chose these 7. Why he chose these in particular, I never really found out. This was his 3rd attempt. He destroyed the first 2 canvases and became rather upset while doing the first one. He said it was very difficult and very painful for him to do that. If you look down to the lower left-hand corner as you're looking at the painting, you'll see Alan seated. Then right next to him, standing and leaning against a post or a tree or whatever that is Tommy. And then peeping from behind the central figure next to Tommy is Arthur. The central figure is Adelena, one of his female personality, alter personalities, and in her lap she's holding Christine. And then next to them is Reagan, the protector, with the traditional Fu Manchu type of mustache, which he was always depicted as having, and at times which Billy wore such a mustache. And then next to Reagan, on the very end on our right as we look at it, is Kevin. Kevin is the only undesirable personality that was included in this particular painting, and Kevin was one of the personalities that caused quite a bit of trouble many years ago in the development of this whole condition. Well, Danny was a rather shy teenager. Sometimes it's hard to keep up with everyone, but approximately 14 years of age, and a little immature even for a 14-year-old, which is quite understandable because most multiples have a high degree of immaturity, not having developed along normal lines during their personality growth and development years.
During the time he was taken to prison, he'd been put into a straitjacket because David had been banging his head against the wall. David, keeper of pain. And he said they came in and they put me into a straitjacket. So actually they put him into a straitjacket and they walked away, and then Tommy, the escape artist, came out, looked around, saw he was in a straitjacket, slipped out of it, and used it for a pillow, took a nap.
Well, basically, I'm no different than anyone else. I was sent to Athens on a court order because Athens is considered not only a think tank and a learning center, but they had a specialist down there named Dr. David Caul, who is renowned in treating people with my kind of illness. His job was to restore me to a reality sense and to integrate me back into the community as a working, productive citizen and a taxpayer.